Hello viewers, welcome to UN Digital class. In my previous lecture, I have already discussed about the digital signature. Now, in today's lecture, I am going to discuss about Elgamal digital signature scheme. Elgamal digital signature scheme always perform the encryption by using the public key of user. And here the decryption is performed by using the private key of user. That means in Elgamal digital signature scheme, encryption is performed by using the public key and decryption is performed by using the private key of user. Next thing is that here you have to choose one prime number. Suppose that prime number is Q. That means here choose a prime number that is Q, and you have to also choose another integer that is alpha, and alpha is nothing but that is the primitive root of Q. Here if alpha is primitive root of Q, then it must be satisfies the two condition. Now look at these two condition. If alpha is primitive root of Q, then in first condition is that for any integer m, which is congruent to 1 mod Q if and only if m congruent to 0 mod Q minus 1. This is the first condition. Now second condition is that for integer I j, alpha to the power I is congruent to alpha to the power j mod Q if and only if I congruent to j mod Q minus 1. These are the two conditions which satisfies for alpha is a primitive root of Q. That means in our Elgamal digital signature scheme, the public parameter or the global parameters are alpha and Q. These two are the global parameter for our Elgamal digital signature scheme. After generating the public parameter or the global parameter, then the user A generates its key pair, that means the private key and public key. The user A generates public key and private key. Here in the first step, the user A select a random integer that is xa. That means in step 1 the user A choose a random integer or a random number that is xa such that xa is greater than 1 and less than Q. After choosing this random number, then in the second step the user A calculate ya, which is equal to alpha to the power xa mod Q. After calculating this ya value, then in the third step the user A generates its public key and the private key. Here the public key is that is equal to Q alpha and YA, and the private key is that is equal to XA. That means for the user A, the public key is this one and the private key is XA. After generating the public key and private key, then the user A select a message to transmit over the network, that means to transmit to the receiver B. Now look at how the user A select a message, and by using this message, first of all the user A generates its signature. After that it append this signature with the message, then transmit it to the receiver. Next, here the user A select a message. Suppose the message is M, that is the capital M. After selecting this message, then the user A calculate the hash value of this message. That means suppose here the hash value is small m, that is equal to h of m. Here this m is nothing but that is the message, and here this m is nothing but that is the hash value or the message digest. Now here the user A select a message, and after selecting the message, then it calculate the hash value of that message. After calculating this hash value, then the user A generates its signature. That means it used the signature generation algorithm. In signature generation, the user A first select a random integer, that is k. Select a random integer, that is k, means here k is the capital K, such that k less than equal to q minus 1 and greater than equal to 1, and GCD of k q minus 1 equal to 1, which means here k is relatively prime to q minus 1. After choosing this k value, then in the second step the user A calculate S1, which is equal to alpha to the power k mod q. Next, in the third step, then the user calculate k inverse mod q minus 1. After calculating this k inverse, then the user A calculate S2. Here S2 is equal to k inverse m minus xa S1 mod q minus 1. This is the S1 value. Now look at this signature generation algorithm. In this signature generation algorithm, first the user A select a random integer k. After that it generate the S1 value, and this S1 value is nothing but that is alpha to the power k mod q. After generating this S1 value, then the user A calculate the S2 value, and here the S2 is k inverse m minus xa S1 mod q minus 1. That means in this signature generation algorithm, the signature is nothing but that is the value of S1 and S2. This is the signature for the user A, which means after generating this signature, then the user A transmit the message with the signature to the receiver B. Now look at here. Suppose this is our user A and here this is our user B. User A first generates its key pair, that means the public key and the private key. Here XA is the private key and YA is the public key. This one is the private key and here it is the public key. After generating this key pair, then the user A select a message to transmit to the user B. Suppose that message is nothing but that is the M. Then after generating this message, then the user A calculates its hash value, that is small m. Here after calculating this hash value, then the user A generates its signature. And here the signature is nothing but that is the value of S1 and S2. This is the signature. After performing all these operations, now the user A transmits the message to the user B, that is the receiver B. Now here the message contains the original message M and the signature, that is S1 and S2. Now look at here, when the user B receives this message, then the user B first verify the signature of the user A, whether this signature is a valid signature or not. That means at the receiver side, first the signature verification is performed. Now look at the signature verification algorithm. When the user B receives the message along with the signature of user A, then the user B first verifies the signature. For verifying the signature, first the user B calculate V1, which is equal to alpha to the power m mod q. Now look at here. Here the V1 value is alpha to the power m mod q. Now one question may arise your mind that the user B receives the original message and the signature, that is S1 and S2, and here the public parameter is q and alpha. That means the user B knows these four values, that is m value, signature, q and alpha. Then where this m came from? Now look at this m. This m is nothing but this is our hash value. That means when the user B calculates this V1, first of all it calculates the hash value, and that hash value is calculated from this original message. That means when the user B receives this message, from this message it takes the original message m. Now by taking this original message m, then it applies the hash function to calculate the hash value. That means it calculates h of m, which is equal to m, small m, that is our hash value or message digest. After calculating this value, then the user B calculates the V1, which is equal to alpha to the power m mod q. Then next, in the second step, the user B calculate V2, which is equal to YA to the power S1, then S1 to the power S2 mod Q minus 1. This is the V2 value calculated by the user B. Sorry, here mod Q. After calculating this V1 and V2 value, then the user B compare this V1 value with the V2 value. If V1 equal to V2, that means signature is a valid signature. If V1 not equal to V2, that means it is a invalid signature. Here the valid signature means the signature is nothing but that is the signature of the user A, which is a authenticated user or authenticated signature. If the signature is an invalid signature, that means when the user A sends its message and signature, there is some modification in the signature before the user B receives this message. Now look at the proof, how the V1 value equal to V2 value. Suppose here we are taking V1 equal to V2. Now write the V1 value. Here the V1 value is alpha to the power m mod q. Now here the V2 value is ya to the power s1, then s1 to the power s2 mod q. Next alpha to the power m mod q, which is equal to, here we replace the ya value, that is alpha to the power xa mod q. Here alpha to the power xa s1. Next here in place of s1 we can replace the value, that is s1 equal to alpha to the power k mod q. Here alpha to the power k s2 mod q. After replacing this value, that means after replacing the ya value and the s1 value, then we can write it as alpha to the power, here I am taking this alpha and this alpha to the left side. That means here I can write alpha to the power m minus xa s1 mod q, which is equal to alpha to the power k s2 mod q. That implies here alpha to the power m minus xa s1 mod q, and here alpha to the power k s2 mod q. That means here our base is alpha in both sides, so that we can remove this base and we can write it as m minus xa s1 congruent to k s2 mod q. After that here we replace the value of s2. Now look at here, m minus xa s1, which is congruent to k s2 mod q. Now here we replace the value of s2. That means we can write m minus xa s1, which is congruent to k, and the s2 value is nothing but that is k inverse m minus xa s1 mod q. Now look at here, this is k into k inverse, which value is equal to 1, which means we can write it as m minus xa s1, that is congruent to m minus xa s1 mod q. Now look at these two values, the right hand value and the left hand value. Both values are equal, which means here the V1 is equal to V2. When V1 is equal to V2, that means the user B verifies that the signature is a valid signature. When the user B verifies that the V1 value equal to V2 value, that means it proves that the signature which is sent by the user A is a valid signature. After performing the verification algorithm, then the user B takes this message as a valid message. This is all about the Elgamal digital signature scheme. Here in Elgamal digital signature scheme, you have to remember that here three things are used. First one is the user A generates its key pair. After that, the user A generates the signature. Then after generating the signature, then the user A append this signature with the message which the user A wants to send to the receiver B. When the user A append this message and signature and transmit to the user B, then the user B performs the verification of the signature. When the signature is a valid signature, then the user B takes this message as a valid message. If you have any doubt regarding this Elgamal digital signature scheme, then you can write me in comment. I will discuss about your doubt. Thank you for watching.